do now?
Yeah, I do sales for an eye care company.
Go ahead.
What else you want to know?
Well, everything that you
You
just...
gotta ask the questions. You
Oh,
gotta ask all your
okay,
questions.
so,
I don't do good with numbers.
how long have you been doing this, Gerrick?
16 years.
Wow, 16 years.
Yeah, I've been doing 16 years sales. But I've been doing sales my whole life since I graduated college.
Oh,
When
I
I graduated college, I wanted to make commercials.
commercials,
Yeah.
movie like that.
Yeah, commercials, like, you know, like a Doritos commercial.
So how did you do that though?
No, it wasn't paying nothing. It wasn't they made you start in the mailroom for like $20,000. I didn't want to do that. So
$20,000 a year.
yeah, I couldn't eat off $20,000 a year.
No.
You know.
So how did you get into this?
I tell you, I started doing sales. I used to work for a company selling mail machines. Mail machines.
What machine is that?
If you ever get your mail at home, you look at it, and where the stamp is, sometimes there's not a stamp, it's a print. Okay, so they sell machines for big companies that don't want to go to the post office. Instead of getting stamps and sitting there putting stamps on mail all day, they sell a machine that'll stamp it for the company. And that's called metered mail.
Okay.
So all those companies that have these metered mail machines, they buy them from someplace. So one of the companies I used to work for was called Pitney Bowes, and they're the biggest metered mail machine company in the United States of America. And so we used to go to companies. I was young, 22, and you go, you meet with the CEO, CFO. Sometimes if you got lucky, you meet with somebody who was a lot lower, and you talk about, you know, how they could save money and how they could not go to the post office. And that was my first sales job. It was great. Learned a lot. Metered mail, Pitney Bowes.
Yeah, I used to buy for one gentleman when I have an office here by Pie Street. Go ahead, and then how did you come across with
So
this?
then once you get into sales, there's something called a headhunter. You know what that is?
Yeah.
So a headhunter finds people jobs for money. So a headhunter, they'll take an employee from one company and they'll push them to another company, and then that other company pays the headhunter a finder's fee, right? So when you're young, 22, 23, 24, you get all these phone calls every week, every weekend from headhunters, and they want you to leave this job to go get this better job. And then once you're at the better job, they want you to leave that job to go get another job. And so when you're young and you don't have no kids and no responsibility, it's fun. You can switch jobs and make more money. And that's what I did. I sold mail machine. I used to sell college textbooks. I would go from college to college, selling textbooks to professors and universities. That was fun because you're on college campus all day for work.
And you were young.
Yeah, I was young. I was college age.
And you were looking at those students while you're walking to the office.
Yeah, so I was college age, so that was a great job. Then I used to sell cell phones. But to corporations. So corporations, a lot of the corporations, they'll provide a phone for their employees, you know. So instead of buying one phone at a time, they'll buy 50 phones, 200 phones, 500 phones.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot of money in there. A lot of money in cell phones. Like
how's the commission structured with this phone sales phone sales?
Say it again.
The commission is structured.
So they used to pay you on, they call it a line, right? So for every cell phone that got turned on, that's one line, right? And oh my goodness, I can't remember how much. I don't remember. To be honest, that was a long time ago. But I just remember it was a fun job, made enough money at the time. But you always, you know, that's the thing. You always, as a young person, you always want to make more, make more, make more. And so I got another headhunter. They called me about a job selling dental implants.
Dental implant.
Yes, going to the dentist and selling and marketing whatever the newest implants were for dentistry at the time. And I went for the interview and I didn't get it. But it was a really informative interview. I learned how to talk. I learned how to say certain medical terms. I learned how to study for that, because that interview I had to study for it. And I never had to study before for it.
And who is doing the interview, doctor?
Yeah, because when you interview in the medical field, you need to know about the device and the company and the competition, and you need to know a lot about it. You can't just go in there. Like today, I saw this person going for an interview. She had on just regular linen pants and like a shoulderless t-shirt or top. And that's it. That's how she went in for her interview.
In Maui. Oh, you saw him?
Yes. She's like, oh, I'm here for my interview. No business attire, no nothing. Just came in.
Local boy.
Just regular clothes.
Local boy.
Yeah, just local, just regular clothes. But see, when I was coming up, you had to get dressed for the interview, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You had to put on a shirt, put on a tie, put on
Comb your hair, put your gel on.
Yeah, all that.
And the whole 9 yards.
And so my brother used to tell me that you have to work being unemployed like it's a job.
Mm-hmm.
What that means is if you don't have no job, you need to be getting up 6:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, out the door by 7 o'clock. You need to at least put in 8-9 resumes a day. And then in the afternoon, you make phone calls trying to line up interviews for the next day. And you got to do that every single day.
Until you land a job.
Until you land a job. That's what my brother told me. You work it like it's a job. If you not putting 8 to 10 hours in a day trying to find a job when you don't have a job, then you're not doing it the right way. So, you know, I've just been blessed to have a lot of people with good work ethic, you know, around me.
Guidance, yeah.
Guidance. And I'm blessed, you know, because I've never been like a great student or, you know, I never had it naturally. So I always just kind of worked at it. And then even when I fall, somebody's always there to help me and pick me up, you know.
Kick your butt a little bit.
Yeah, and then both of my parents died when I was younger, so like my mom passed away when I was 24.
Oh yeah?
And then my dad was just never around, so it's like...
How many siblings do you have?
It's like I got one older brother, one older sister.
Oh, okay.
But when it's like that, it forces you to be like, okay, you know, I can't just be out here fucking around. Like, I gotta go do something, you know? I gotta go make some money. I gotta live a straight and narrow, or I'm gonna end up on the street or do something, you know? So, man, it was just a bunch of different
How old were you during this time, this challenging time?
24.
24, okay.
Yeah, I mean, my mom got cancer when I was in college, about 21.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, from 21 to 24, that's when I was kind of working all those jobs, trying to find out kind of what I want to do with my life. But then when she passed away, it kind of got real because then that was it, you know. I needed to do it on my own.
Uh-huh.
And then the job I got, probably about maybe a little over a year after she passed away, is the job I still have right now today. Working with eyes and eye doctors.
So how did you get to that job right now?
So, you know, all those jobs I mentioned, selling books, selling cell phones, you just become better at it. You become better at talking to people. You become better at communicating. You become better at being a self-motivator, right? All those jobs, nobody's waking you up in the morning.
No, yeah, you
know. No, it's all those jobs. There's no office that you report to. There's none of that. You have to do it all on your own. And so
you're the driver now.
Yeah. So and then there's no faking now. So people can tell if you're good at sales by how much money you bring. right? If you're not good, you don't make no money.
Yeah.
But if you're good, you can show paycheck stuff, you can show an award, you can show
And the car you drive.
Yeah, you can show the quota attainment, you can show all that, you know. And so these companies, especially, you know, the Fortune 500 companies, they're always looking for young self-starters. So by that time, I had been in the sales industry with a proven track record, you know, 3-4 years of making money, being a self-starter. And so this headhunter took me from selling cell phones, you know, doing the corporate cell phone gig, and he put me on this interview for this eye care company. And I interviewed with this lady, and she was really nice. I made it to the final 2 interviews, me and one other guy, and she gave the job to another guy. But she was like, you know what, I really like you. I don't have a job for you in my division. I'm gonna send you to surgical, to another division. And it just so happened the dude who was hiring was cool.
And this is in LA?
Mm-hmm, this is LA, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Dude was cool with diversity, cool with, you know, he was white, but his wife was Asian. And he just got it. He was a good
So
guy.
how was the interview about? How
The
did it
interview
go?
was weird, to be honest. It lasted 3 hours.
The interview.
Yeah.
How did that? How?
Because, you know, I started telling him about my life, and he thought it was interesting.
Your biography.
My biography, because, you know, I played sports in high school, right? But like a lot of kids, I got hurt, and so my brother was like, look, you can keep trying to be, you know, in sports, or you can try to make $1 million a million other ways. You know, it's a million ways to make $1 million. You don't got to do it just by throwing the ball or bouncing the ball and running. You know, there's so many other ways that you can make $1 million. He's like, man, you should just go straight to college.
In a quarter mile, keep left at the fork to stay on Interstate H1 West.
He's like, trust me, you can find a way, and, you know, you'll get through it. So that's what I did when I got to school. I just found a way. I, you know, always link up with, like you said, another person.
Keep left at the fork to stay on Interstate H1 West.
Knew it better than I did, I would just go be their friend. And, you know, I got through college, but
Continue on Interstate H1 West for 4 miles.
A marketing major, actually. Marketing, But while I was there, one of the summer semesters, I went down to Guatemala. I went down to Guatemala to learn Spanish because I knew I wanted to live in California, but in California, you won't get certain jobs if you're not bilingual.
Yeah.
So I knew I wanted to be bilingual. I knew I wanted to stay in
So how long have you stayed in Guatemala?
I was in Guatemala 4 months.
And you studied the Spanish?
That's it. That's all I did every day. I lived with a family. I lived with a host family. It was a mom, a dad, and two little kids, 1 boy. I used to play soccer with, and then a little girl named Jocelyn. And in the morning, I would go to school, like a language school, not a real school. Just all the school is for is to teach you a language. So you walk into this big building, open air, kind of like Hawaii, where, you know, because Guatemala it's similar temperature. Like it's humid, it's good temperature. Even when it rains, it's not cold. It don't get cold.
Okay.
So you go into this like open air building with a bunch of tables. 1 teacher on one side, 1 student on another side. Only 1-to-1 training.
Oh, really?
Yes. Cheap.
So
too. I want to say to take a week of classes, 5 hours a day in Guatemala back then was like $200 a week maybe.
$20.
$200 a week. It was very, very affordable. It's still probably affordable. Because, you know, in Guatemala, they don't have a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
So what they'll do is they'll just teach people their language, and like that's how most people make their money, either tourism or teaching. But it's not like they're credentialed teachers. You know what I mean? Like this is a person, a regular person. Like, all right, sit down, open your book up, tell me what you want to say, and then you practice with them. And so I got conversational in 4 months. Not bilingual, but I was conversational. So after I graduated college, I was like, you know what? I want to become bilingual. So I went back down to Central America and South America.
What country now?
Argentina, Chile, Uruguay, Brazil, Panama, Costa Rica. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I mean, later on I went to the Dominican to party, not to learn.
So that's how many years total in Latin America?
Just a year, 1 year.
Just a year.
Yeah,
But
1 year.
hopping from one country
Yeah, hopping
to
from one place, because you know, in certain parts of the world you have these places called hostels. You know what a hostel is, right?
yeah.
So again, it don't take no money. When I graduated from college, I worked all summer. I saved all my graduation money. I sold my car, and I took all my money, and I just went to backpack down in Central and South America. And I just stayed.
And how old were you
22.
at the time?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, 22. Yeah, just backpacking and meeting people and trying to learn Spanish and having fun, partying every night, hanging out, dancing, doing nothing. Just
In 2 miles, use the right 2 lanes to take exit 5A toward Hawaii 76 South Evan.
I've seen shit you're never gonna see in your life. Patagonia, you know what Patagonia is? Patagonia is the most southern part of South America before you hit the South Pole. So you get out there and it's open land, and on the coast there's ice glaciers. Like this stand as tall as the skyscrapers in Honolulu.